So the last one I'm going to cover before we actually go a bit into the environment is around the learning aspect, around different ways of doing distance learning. It's becoming more and more prevalent today. So from an e-learning perspective, every university today offers some form of distance education. Almost every business today tries to do distance education. It's becoming more or less a fact of life. You're not going to all be able to travel to the best universities, but it'd be great if you could actually take a course from this university you really want to attend and not have to move, not have to leave your state, but you can take this online. So a lot offer that today, but they are recorded teacher sessions. Same way with your products, selling or teaching, educating your customers through products. You can record or you can do voice calls. What virtual learning will allow you to do is actually interact with one another and be more synchronous type of interaction versus the asynchronous today is what our typical distance learning is. Think of teaching and learning with virtual environment becoming more of tours. Instead of teaching, you're touring. So if your subject happens to be, you're in a chemistry class, you're teaching some individuals in chemistry, whether it's a research level company, you're looking at a new compound, or whether it's a university trying to teach Chem 101. But if you could actually tour through a chemical, break open its bonds, walk through the chemical, understand the chemical, look at how it's attached, look at how it interacts. You take that with, if you're selling a router, you go up and you can actually go to the router, break open the router, look at its parts, look at the data stream coming from the router, such that you can actually look at the header files, you can look at the trailer files, you can look at the middle information, break out that information, do it in a 3D virtual world. So you can actually take your students through this. So you're not looking at a 2D diagram, you're not reading text from a book, but you're touring through the subject that you're teaching. That's the strength of virtual world. That's the strength of virtual e-learning. And I've actually probably have covered off most of that activity here. I think the other that it does is, for instance, several major companies have major learning centers that they send their teams to go to. And it provides a bit of networking. It provides the ability to actually have some conversations outside the classroom. Well, if you were to take those same environments and virtualize them, you can have the same effect without having to send everyone there, plane, car, train, whatever the mode that they're going to get there. So you can now have the same level of engagement, but virtually. So you can meet there, you can go to classes, you can have some other conversations, but it allows engagement that you cannot get today through most of the distance education. The privacy, again, we go through the same information in terms of it's in your network. Also, information about students is better known by the teachers. So if you are teaching a customer a certification on one of your products, you can get a list of what that student already has. What certifications do they already have? So as you're having a class, you can ask this person, well, so I know you're certified in so-and-so. Can you give us a bit more information on that? How have you found that certification to be? So you can actually get more contextual information per student that allows you to be able to teach more effectively or to be more engaging with each individual. Customize the learning environment again. Make the learning environment fit the context of what you're teaching. You can go into the existing software again because this is within your network. If you have other examples that you want to pull in, you can do that in this environment, and you don't have to worry about leaving the environment. You can actually have this set up in your web browser, have information, data that runs along the side of the browser, and pull that in as necessary to get through the topic that you're reviewing. Okay, so those are the three market areas that I wanted to cover off. And the next piece that I'm going to do is actually take you through the Lenovo e-Lounge. But before I do that, are there any questions? Any comments? Yes?
If you can have these side water cooler discussions, then you're like a conference call. You're hitting the mute button and you're doing something else. You're not engaged in a conversation.
So that the water coolers are normally before or after the event. It could be during. If you're, quite frankly, if you're in a face-to-face meeting, how often are there sidebar conversations? Lots and lots. I know that, especially in design meetings and so on, that's just a natural way of meetings. Hopefully it's not going to be disruptive. If it is, you tell them to take it outside or share it with everybody else they're talking about. But that's going to happen. And this does allow some of that, but you can see what's happening. Right, so somebody kind of steps back. Looks like we bring them back in. All right. We are now in the lounge. So you can see how easy that was. Right? So it's a web browser launch, and you're there immediately in the lounge. And this is my avatar. Can't you tell the resemblance? Yeah. We are working on software that will actually take your image and put you in here. Digimask is the software company today that does that. Takes a profile, front and side profiles of yourself, 3Ds, it throws it in here. So you can choose to use it or not, your choice. Okay, so this is the user. I'm muted right now. We'll see if I see anybody I know in the environment. And Jessica has given me a headset here, just in case. I have this out. All right, so what I'm going to do, okay, this is the staging area. Okay, so I'm muted right now, and I'm not using the mouse here. Justin gave me the option to use the mouse, but I actually like to use the touchpad here. So I'm going to turn around. I'm going to take you over here. This is an information board. There's somebody else there. All right. So we're going to go over here. I'm using the W button to be able to walk to right over here. Very simple commands. Press W, you go forward. Press S, you're going to move backwards, right? So there are actually, it's very easy. Within just a couple of minutes, you can use, and you can actually function as an avatar here. All right, now that we've seen that, we're going to go to, and I don't really want to make anybody sick by watching. I'm kind of like jerky here with my controls. But we're going to walk in now to the main area. And this is the Lenovo e-launch. Okay, so we're going to go take a look at a couple of products. Let's take a walk over here. And let's see what's going on here. So we have a laptop. So you can go over to each of the buttons, the red buttons. Peter will move out of the way. So,
She's a salesperson.
I know, probably so. Probably so. So I have to be a little bit closer here. It's like you're really in my personal space here. All right, you move away. So I need to get a little bit closer here. You look this laptop. So as you put your cursor over the object, it's going to bring information about the object. You can then go and look at, let's see. It's going to not.
You know you're not muted.
That's okay. If anybody's close by, they can listen. All right, so with this, we can pop it open, we can switch it around, take a look at what the laptop looks like, close it, we can open it. You can get closer to it so you can actually bring the object to you. So in the virtual world, you can actually manipulate the objects that you're wanting to look at. The other aspects of this world would be, let's go right over here. Okay, so we have a little lounge area right here. It looks like this is one that they're going to show different activities on. So if they wanted to have video playing here, if they wanted to have a tutorial, you could get right here and you could actually look at what's going on in the tutorial. Some of the branding I was talking about earlier is you can see the scenery, right? So gorgeous scenery, very high-def scenery. You can put this as to whatever you want to do. So however you want to brand your environment, you can basically do that. So you can see all the different, I'm not sure where they got this. This is actually quite nice. The team's in Canada, so it made them feel like home, found snow and kind of like that. You can also see in the very corner there's a site map, so it tells you where you are at any one time. So as you're moving around, you don't get lost in this environment, and you can actually back up from your avatar and get more of a bird's eye view if you want to do that. A couple of the other functions that are within this is the ability to have different rooms. So we're going to go through a room here. We have a couple of different areas, all right? So one, go into the room a little bit more, is this e-meeting. Unfortunately, there's a meeting in progress.